Sweet, let's get it.
All right, going into game 3 of the night, it appears that yet again we're going to see our boys in the bot lane on the same champions. Also, willing to note that there is also another Nasus in this game. Let's see if it's better than the first one they had this series.
Yeah, hopefully.
Senna, Draven, bot lane on the other side, going into them.
I'm just trying to look at team comps here. I always like to try and figure out who scales better first. Would you say it's red team?
It's interesting because the highest scaling champion in this game is probably Nasus, obviously. But if you look at blue side, they do have really well scaling team fighters as far as Darius and Senna, who will infinitely scale, and also Annie, who will come in with a lot of late game damage as well.
Yeah, so I guess it all just kind of depends on whether they get the ball rolling with Draven, right? Like if they can get Draven rolling early, I don't think this will be a fun game for Cordell and Colton at all. I
Agreed.
also don't know if they know how to play into a Draven correctly.
I can say I know that one of them does not. I won't say who.
So,
We'll leave that up to interpretation.
For your imagination. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Now, that's definitely a Zyra mid lane, right?
Yeah, definitely an oddity these days. She's typically seen in the support role, but much like Brand, could still potentially work in the mid lane.
So how do we feel about that Annie Zyra matchup, Panda?
Definitely Zyra favored. However, depending on runes and setups, I believe Annie can be a more effective champion in the late game, especially as far as pushing out waves and roaming. I do believe Annie has much more pressure to freely go about the map.
Yeah. Man, my worst nightmare is Darius, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough matchup for the Nasus early on. Will be hard pressed to get his stacks in the early game. I also wanted to point out that the Nocturne is going to have a very difficult time this game as well. Zyra ultimate, Leona, and Ashe, as well as Nasus ultimate.
Yeah,
There's
not
lockdown.
only.
Yeah, there's lockdown. There's a lot of ways for Nocturne to just get screwed over when he just ults in, so he has to be very selective when he does.
Yeah, not only that, but the Graves matchup in the Nocturne is very bad.
For the Nocturne side?
For the Nocturne side, Graves can invade the jungle very early and push Nocturne out when he's trying to farm to 6.
Pretty sure a lot of that has to do with the stacking armor that Graves has, right?
Yeah, but also good that you mentioned that because it did recently receive a nerf, his stacking armor on his E passive, his True Grip passive.
Yes.
So it's not as strong as it once was.
So we do see that this Graves decided not to take Flash and Ignite instead, and we also see that Nasus took Ghost instead of Flash.
I'm not gonna lie, Puig. I do not like when silver players forget to take Flash, or specifically, purposely don't take Flash.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite prepared enough for it. But I also look and see that Lethal Tempo is on Nocturne, which is quite interesting, because that kind of leads me to believe that he's going to go Assassin.
Ooh. We'll see.
Interesting. So I think that'll be interesting to follow.
Yeah. I do question the Grasp of the Undying on the Nasus as well, because if he is ever auto-attacking a Darius, he is going to be in trouble. So I don't know.
That's a good point.
He could have gone for something different, but you know, his choice. We'll see how it goes.
Willing to note that there is a teleport advantage on the side of red side.
Yep, blue side has no teleport at all, actually.
Another thing to note, there is a double heal in the bot lane for the Draven and the Senna. Oof. Very odd combination.
Over SoloQ at its finest, fellas.
Yeah.
Especially in SoloQ.
Definitely diminishing returns on those heals.
Looks like we have classic starting positions though. Nocturne starting at his red buff side. Graves is going to start blue buff. And there could be some action in the top lane early on. We'll see.
That is an interesting ward by Darius. I'm not really sure what he's trying to see there. Because as a
Good
jungler
point.
myself, I don't walk that way. Like,
Yeah.
I walk into that bush above red there, and then I walk around.
Maybe he was
I
trying
don't
to
walk
see.
that side.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to see that cute little duck that spawns in the river.
Yeah,
But even
maybe.
then.
But yeah, that's a questionable ward. I would definitely question mark ping that one.
Yeah, it is my favorite duck on Summoner Shift. It is quite cute.
That one's your favorite, not mine. That's weird.
Well, getting back into the gameplay, one thing that I've noticed from the Darius, he started his Decimate, his Q ability at level 1. I may not be a top lane main player, but typically speaking, you want to have that W to have the auto attack reset. And he also just let a level 1 Nasus walk up and Q a minion. So we'll see how this goes, but so far that may not necessarily know what he's doing.
And back to that ward, I really don't understand that ward because it's gone now. Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, it saw nothing.
It was just there for fun.
Pretty sure Darius
No way
wins
Darius
these all
loses
ins.
this,
Oh
right?
yeah, gets his passive up. He's got the hemorrhage fully stacked. If he were to flash up and get an auto W onto it with that stack up, he could have killed the Nasus. Zenith
Going
Blade
in.
connects onto the Draven. Hail of Blades attacks will go into it, but nothing else comes of it as Senna's W comes in to stop the Leona.
Yeah, goodbye Leona playing up and
Look topside.
Ooh, a gank starting to come through from Graves. Doesn't seem like it's going to amount to anything, but the junglers are about to meet on the top lane scuttle. We'll see how this works out.
Nocturne was just pinging for assistance, so they know he's there, but Graves does not know that he's in a trap right now.
Well, the pinging is
Oh,
helping
he's-
because both Annie and Darius are first to respond. He gets the smite onto the crab, but the fear is now tethered onto the Graves, and he is going forward. The Nasus walks into both the Darius and the Annie, and will get ignited to death by the Annie.
Oh.
Flash for the Nocturne, and he will kill the Graves. A 2-for-0 in favor of blue team.
Yeah, this Nasus, that was poor decision making. I'm not really sure why he decided to just ghost into their entire, damage right there. Not sure, but
Very questionable
knows.
indeed.
okay.
Gets a wither onto her. I don't know if this is going to go for well. He's going to be tanking minions, yeah, and he has to back off.
And he just teleported back, and he's missing a quarter of his health now.
Yeah, not a good sign for the Nasus who just wants to be safe and stack all lane.
some just to farm up now that Darius backed. I'm mistaken. Apparently there is no time for Nasus to farm.
Nocturne with the lethal tempo coming with a lot of damage, and the final Q comes in to finish off the Nasus. That was a lot of unexpected damage.
I'm really not sure what this Nasus was thinking. Like, he just stood there. He saw him so long ago, but he just stood there and thought he was safe.
Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, the Nocturne did very well to space out his auto attacks and clearly seemed to understand the amount of attack speed he was receiving from lethal tempo, and got all those extra auto attacks and probably just straight up surprised the Nasus with the damage.
Yeah, also Nocturne perfectly setting up the wave for a freeze for Nasus.
And we'll see how this goes. Darius at the moment has nothing to do but to look down
look
river
at
and
the
see what he can
level
find.
difference. Look at the level difference in the jungle, 6-4.
Oof.
This Nocturne can start ulting right now. And
That
if he
is
doesn't start ulting, he's throwing his lead.
Yeah, if Graves is seen on this ward, maybe he'll try it.
He's level 6 at 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes now. But this Graves is level 4 still. Like, I think Nocturne hard wins this.
Well, what is he doing?
It sure looks like he was spotted. Tibbers goes down to the mid lane, does not find the Zyra, but
Very
Graves-
strange.
Graves will be 2 levels down, but he has the Leona coming in for support. W blocks the Q from Leona, smites the dragon for health, gets the piercing light from Senna to heal up a little bit, and he will live for now. Draven chucking axes into Leona, who really doesn't have much to go, gets the blast cone out, and looks like was able to flash away and will survive in the end. Nasus trading in top lane.
Oh,
Darius flashes for the apprehend and auto and will get the kill on the Nasus, and everybody in bot lane is still living with blinking health bars.
Nasus is
Wow.
0-3. This is a go next. This is not fun if your Nasus is 0-3.
Blue team will get the dragon, even though Nocturne tried his best to int that away.
I guess the level difference was too big that time. He was still 2 levels up.
And look at the mid lane farm too. Like that's a good amount of CS difference at 7 minutes.
Yeah, that is not a sight you want to see. Nocturne is just taking all of Graves' topside jungle for free.
Yeah, this Graves is not having fun either.
This bot lane seems to be relatively quiet. We're just seeing a farm game in the bot lane, which will eventually favor the Ashe.
I wonder if they know that Senna is not there right now. Or if that's why they're playing safe, because they think Senna might be in one of these near bushes.
I think they do know. The Draven was backing off when the Ashe walked up to try and trade.
Oh, Darius yet again.
Oh, apprehend does go on the Nasus. He's got his passive up. The Nasus does ult to get extra health, but the passive is still on him. Darius ghosts, gets the passive back, and then Noxian Guillotine cuts him in half.
If you look, Nasus is spam pinging his jungler on Krugs.
Oh no. And thus the SoloQ flame commences. You always blame the jungler, folks. Always blame the jungler.
I think mentals are gone already. This
You
is
know,
an
I
0-4
agree.
Nasus.
This is clearly Graves' fault.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly. We all know that Graves is the reason why Nasus went 0-3 in lane.
0-4 in lane,
0-4,
by
good
the way.
sir. Oh, Tippers and an Ignite now onto the Annie. Zyra ultimate and the plant's doing extra damage, and the last hit from the Zyra plant kills off the Annie.
Flashing away and still dying. Gotta love it.
Yeah, people always underestimate her plant damage. It's the main source of her damage, so should always be respected.
Now, Ashe doesn't have a lot of mana here, but I would like to see if they could let this wave like push out and then like try and go aggro. Oh, Draven backed.
Yeah,
Never
this
mind.
game Leona has not been as aggressive as she normally is. As I say that, Zenith Blade comes out.
I think they were just trying to shove the wave and reset in that instance, getting the Leona passive onto the minion so Ashe could finish quickly.
Yeah, now Ashe does have a quite large CS up on this Draven right now, about 20.
Certainly going to be helpful, especially against an early game Draven.
I have noticed this Annie only uses her E to get a stack for passive, not for any other reason.
Nocturne is deep in their jungle again here.
Oh,
Ping's going onto the Rift Herald.
I would really like to see. Yeah, I think Nocturne's gonna ult
Leona
bot
going
here.
after the Draven, but the Nocturne ult is coming in. Solar Flare onto the Draven stops him dead in his tracks, but the Nocturne is chasing down the Leona, who gets taken out
Oh
by the
boy.
piercing light from Senna. And Nocturne just flashes under tower
Whoa.
for the Ashe, does not get the auto attack, and just dies under tower like a low elo monkey.
And she's dead.
Oh, Ashe will eventually get chased down by the Draven, and the stacks have been cashed in. But also on the top lane, the Nasus got a plus 12 bonk on top of the Darius.
I see, said the blind man.
See, I'd really like to see there being more wards placed in their jungle. Like if you look right now, their jungle's completely dark to them.
Yeah, or literally anywhere.
Yeah, just more wards across the map. Like if you look,
Wards save
the
lives.
Zyra still has 2 control wards in her inventory,
Mm.
and I guess that's hers mid lane or on the mid lane. Oh, we got a fight going on top side.
Uh-oh. Chasing down the Nocturne. Wither went down,
Oh,
but the
Darius
Darius is
cleans
just
this up.
ignoring and ghosting onto the Graves. Gets the kill at the end of it all.
He doesn't get reset though.
Does not get the reset, but the
Oh,
Darius Q is able to finish off the Nasus and save the Nocturne.
And then once again, more missing pings going down on their mid laner for some reason this time.
no, clearly. No mistakes have been made by Nasus this game.
Absolutely not. He's played a perfectly clean game.
I
The
do.
itemization by Darius is quite interesting.
I was also gonna say on the Nasus as well. Is that a Zeke?
I don't know what else can build out of that item actually.
Kindle Gem
Wait.
and Glacial Shroud is Zeke's convergence. I'm very concerned about what's going on with this Nasus.
I do believe Nasus is simply
Pinging
building
first is
components. I think that Glacial Shroud is going to go into a Frozen Heart. But meanwhile, in the jungle, Graves finds the Nocturne.
Nocturne
Enchanted Crystal
died
Arrow
here.
ends up hitting on the Nocturne as well as Zenith Blade, and he just gets caught out way too deep in the enemy jungle.
He's been doing that all game, and there's still no wards in their jungle. Like, it might be because we're able to see it, but if they know that they've caught him in there twice now, don't you think you'd probably have to ward an entrance to a jungle somewhere?
There is literally nothing. Thank you very much, Observer, for pointing this out. Now there's a fight. Timber's coming down onto the Graves with the Ignite.
Oh.
Goes into his stopwatch.
Oh,
Will
that
end up
is-
being taken down by the W, and Timber starts whacking on the plant lady. Has to run away with her E and will survive.
Oh, that's a...
Wither goes onto the Darius in top lane. Nasus is trying to chase him down for the kill, but it doesn't look like it's going to amount to anything. Zenith Blade misses onto the Draven, so nothing comes of that trade.
Now, Panda, riddle me this. Okay. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
How come they killed Nocturne in their jungle and did not do Dragon?
Yeah, clearly an oversight. Clearly, they're not in the best mental state right now.
Oh, Nasus taking multiple tower shots.
Oh, I
gets
think
hit by the
Nasus
massive
might
build.
already be dead. Might still be dead.
I think he dies.
Taking
No!
down from the passive. No,
How
he
much
will
health?
survive.
60 health. 60 health.
Is
Very
that the corrupting potion that saved him?
So it would seem.
Oh, what is this? Okay, hold on. Let's go top.
Graves hopping over the pit is looking for
What
that
is-
Darius. Nasus is walking back into the lane. And
Mental
straight into the face
boom.
of death. What was he thinking? If Darius plays this correctly, he could have a chance. Gets a W, but is ignited by the Graves, and he will just get auto-attacked to death. Solar Flare does connect. Piercing Light onto the enemy team. Leona barely gets out, but the Whirling Death is able to finish off the Leona.
Yeah, and that's a new development for Draven. That Whirling Death is now an execute based on axe stacks.
Yep, this is true. This is why I initially banned him all the time.
The word escaped me. The kind of stacks they're called.
Adoration stack.
Adoration, there you go. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Herald's still top lane. Wonder if they're gonna... Okay, it'll be picked up by Nocturne.
Nope, Annie
Oh.
again. Timbers onto the Zyra. Just able to one-shot her now with the amount of items that she has. Full completed Luden's Echo plus Stork Boots. But despite all of the craziness going on, blue team is only up a few thousand gold.
Yeah, and you have to wonder how long until this Nasus becomes a Nasus.
Hopefully soon.
I think you're
Because
gonna have to
maybe
give it a while.
Maybe then he'll stop spam pimming the jungle, but we all know
Nasus
that's
is
not
now
gonna
running it down mid.
Uh-oh, he is ghosting onto the Annie, gets a Wither on, is going to be looking for those siphoning strikes. Annie does flash away, gets feared by the Nocturne,
Hanging
gets
for assist.
damaged over the wall by Annie, and will go down to the Nocturne.
Nocturne does not have ultimate. Oh, this is gonna be a
He's
fight.
just making his way down into bot lane. Leona spots it out, and he is not able to walk straight into that.
Good hawk
Gray's
shot.
now trading with the Draven. Ooh, Whirling Death is not able to do it. Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto the Draven, but Nocturne just goes Paranoia onto the face of Leona, flashes away. Ash flashes after him to get the kill. There is so much craziness happening down in the bot lane, back and forth with ultimates.
And you know there are some interesting things being said in the comms in that red side bot lane.
Oh boy, we all know the feeling of SoloQ and having to dunk on random teammates.
Something tells me they're gonna both die here. I have an inkling.
Ooh, Graves autos Ascena, starts taking multiple tower shots. Piercing Light does not find Graves, but he does gets the shield bow popped.
Alright.
Probably gonna stay to finish off the tower and make his way out. Volley comes in to slow the Senna, and that will be that.
It seems red side may have heard our prayers. There are pink wards on the side of red.
Yeah, there's one pink ward in River Bush, which, you know, I guess it's alright.
It's
yeah, also in inventory as well.
I believe those two have been there all game. I'm gonna be honest.
Wonder if there's a way for us to see how many stacks the Nasus has, but oh, right now we find Nocturne running into the Graves.
Oh.
Fear is still tethered onto him. He's trying to run away from the Nocturne. Dustbringer still is able to land. Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes wide. Gets ignited by the Graves, and now has been found out by the bot lane. Kill will get gifted over to the Ashe.
A little overeager, but I will say it was a pretty nice W active on that Nocturne.
Can you guys imagine the comms if Leona let that Nocturne kill Ashe right there?
There would
have
been
yes.
Salt flying.
I would pay real money to be a part of those comms, gotta be honest. See, now there's actual decent red wards in their jungle now. Like they know where they can walk and where this Nocturne's not gonna be just sitting in a bush waiting to eat them, you know?
Exactly.
Vision saves lives, everybody.
Cloud Soul this game. It is going to be pretty decent for characters that like.
Kind of interesting that Dragon is up, and everybody knows Dragon is up. And
Ashe gets hit by Senna W trying to secure Scuttle. Zenith Blade goes out, will connect, but the Whirling Death is going to pop the Mortal Shield Bow, and Nocturne comes in with Paranoia to finish off the kill.
Yeah, Graves is just AFK farming topside.
Solar Flare comes in. The Nocturne is going crazy with the Fear under the tower onto the Graves. He will end up getting exploded by the Draven and even survives.
Between two towers in the mid lane, cue circus music.
It is a fiesta of a game, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, yeah, what are you gonna do? You have a 1-in-7 Nasus, like, what are you actually gonna do about it? And then your Graves is AFK. Oh, and then Nasus is keeping top. That's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nasus only seems to have about 264 as of right now, so not the ideal position he wants to be in.
No, but I will say, still up in CS from this Darius, which is quite bamboozling.
Absolutely. Something must have gone wrong with wave management up there in top lane in order for Nasus to have as much, if not more, farm than a Darius.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, part of it was that first gank from Nocturne that got that Nocturne a couple extra CS for himself.
Oh no, now the Nasus is just overextending. Way too eager for those stacks.
Wow.
He's just going to be chased around in the jungle, gets a wither onto the Darius,
Draven's there.
and he ends up finding a Draven. Draven has potential to cash in. There goes the Whirling Death, and there comes the cash.
Oh. Say goodbye to our friendly pink ward that's been there since minute 7.
Yeah, right. Wow. I mean, you kind of know there's a problem when if you're the blue side here, right? And your jungler only has 8 vision score, which is the lowest on the team. That's, you know, a little concerning, I would say, as a jungler.
Yeah, also no sweeper out on the jungler.
Yeah, I also haven't seen anybody on the blue side buy a control ward besides Darius, I believe.
Yeah, and funny enough, Darius also with a sweeper instead of the Nocturne. A little bit confused at our jobs here. A little bit of a role reversal we have going on.
Ooh,
Weird situation of events.
right.
Nocturne walking into Leona, misses the Solar Flare, but still is around for the Zenith Blade. Stranglethorns comes out from the Zyra. Paranoia to try and kill off the Zyra from the Nocturne, but it does not look like it's going to be enough. Piercing Light, give him a little more health, and he's able to finish off the Zyra. Annie comes in and puts
Ash
the
is just
Tibbers down onto the Ash. Has to flash away along with Leona. Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits onto the Annie, and it does not look like they'll be able to chase any further.
Yeah, Nocturne ulted himself on top of the Zyra ultimate. Not quite sure what he was trying to do there.
I think that was desperation at that point. He knew he was still going to get knocked up by it anyways, but oh no, Graves. Oh, he faked him out so hard. Misses the ultimate over the wall, but Darius still chases after him. He is going to get away with his life.
And if we could get the timers for the objectives coming up, that would be much appreciated. Thank you. Got 2 minutes on Dragon. On their soul, by the way. Blue team soul.
I do want to see red side focusing more on pushing their vision line up as these objectives come up.
Damn, it appears that Nasus kind of just snuck through all of them.
Oh,
Walking
very
up to Senna.
interesting W by Senna. Good flash.
Yeah, walks into basically the entire enemy team and gets the axe brought down. Nocturne decides to ult onto the Ash near the enemy mid lane tower. Gets rooted up by the Stranglethorn. Solar Flare goes onto the rest of the enemy team, and a trade 1-for-1 for now. Darius walks under the tower to try and ult a non-passive Zyra and falls as a result.
There it is. There's our window for red team to get
And
back
if we could
into this
just
game.
take a look at Graves while this is all going down mid lane. He's just, yeah.
The site of farming. Excellent gold collection.
70 CS up on this Nocturne, so he's doing, as far as farming, he's doing quite well.
I mean, he does have the most gold in the game, actually. He does. He has the most gold in the game. So I guess, you know, it works, but it only works if you can, you know, translate it to something, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely looks like he's going to get over greedy for this. Runs into it. Oh, Draven literally runs past him. Paranoia onto the Graves looking for the kill, and Annie is able to find the final.
Leona is in trouble.
Nobody's there to help.
Bone plating down.
Nocturne going to land the Dustbringer, and
we'll
get a cute Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto the Nocturne. Stops all forms of chase.
Chris Kyle out of left field.
From downtown.
And it's going to just be sold to blue team.
Yep, no jungler for red team means this is an easy soul take.
It is the Cloud Soul, so it could be worse. Game time is still ticking forward. There is a Nasus on red side.
Well, I don't know how much you want to have a very low cooldown Nocturne, Senna, Draven, and Tibbers for the enemy team, but still not the worst it could possibly be. Using this time to try and push up mid lane.
I'm just kind of surprised that red team is getting destroyed this hard, right? But they're not down that much gold, actually. Like, in the grand scheme of things.
Nasus looking to try and burst down the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, it definitely is just macro decisions, I believe, that are causing red team to feel so far behind.
Jeez, that wither is so annoying. But Nasus is massively overextended. Runs into the Annie that drops the tippers on his face and ignites him, and Draven will end up finishing him off for the kill.
That
Yeah.
is once again for the 10th time he's been overextended, by the way.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, red team says thank you, dog, as they pick up that easy kill.
And a catch in for your Draven. Things not looking so good for the Iceberg boys right now. They are not doing terrible in and of themselves, but they are facing down a massive team deficit.
Yeah, and this is honestly just unfortunate. Like, this isn't even their fault, actually. Like, this is just team gap, I guess. Like, this is just something else.
Yeah. One thing that does
Ooh, close on the enchanted
confuse
crystal.
me.
Teleport out of Nasus.
Nocturne going absolutely ham with the paranoia onto the Zyra, drops down the Stranglethorns, and he just ints away his life.
Oh, can this be their way back in?
Draven too close to the Nasus, gets bonked on the head for a plus 12, and maybe a start of a throw for blue
They're
team.
pinging for Baron here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's got to be the call.
Wither onto the Darius, the Solar
Flare flash.
barely connects.
Oh, flashing.
Zenith Blade misses, and he is going to be able
They
to
should
get to
turn
the
back
blast
onto
cone.
Baron. Yeah, they need to turn back on Baron. This is an overstay.
Zenith Blade does connect onto the Annie, drops down the Tibbers, and Nasus gets the Noxian Guillotine
Yeah,
to the
now they can't do
face.
the Baron.
Gets a W, and another ultimate for the Darius. He is going to be chasing after that Graves.
Yep.
Gets the Decimate onto him, misses the Apprehend, but it looks like they're just going to be running for their lives. Zyra is barely able to not finish off the Darius, and the Triumph keeps him alive. Annie gets turned on and killed by the Ashe and the Graves.
Oh, and that pops his shield bow too.
But at this
Yeah,
point,
that was
it
a
doesn't really
hard throw from the red side. Like,
Yeah.
just go to Baron. It's free. Like,
Okay, finally, the blue team finally turns on to the Baron. I thought they were allergic to winning for a good long time.
red team does see this, by the way, and Graves is in the area.
Good look for a steal. It's a 50-50 at this point. Enchanted Crystal goes very wide. Smite goes down, and it does go over to the Nocturne, unfortunately, and Graves will give up his life.
Man, that's a jungler's dream if you're trying to steal that right there.
Ooh, Paranoia directly onto the Ashe, but right into the face of Leona. Is it going to match? Flashes away. The Fear Tether sticks. The Ignite is ticking onto the Nocturne, but he will live and keep his GA. Stranglethorns now onto the Draven, and he is left alone in front of the enemy.
What
Kill
is
for the Ashe.
going on?
Oh, SoloQ, my man.
Can't tell who's
SoloQ.
throwing harder.
The answer to that question is yes.
Yes. All right.
Oh my lord.
Got a GA coming in on the Nocturne. That explains why he's literally inting into fights.
Well, apparently he hasn't lost it yet, so somehow stuff is working. But now it's just a barren siege for blue team. Hopefully red team is able to wave clear as best as possible, but for right now they are stuck in the base just trying to wave clear.
And I do think there are better items second on Nasus than Frozen Heart. I feel like there could be more value added.
Look at Zyra, guys. It's 30 minutes with one item.
Yeah, not looking great for the Zyra.
Yeah. That's a support player if I've ever seen it.
She's sitting on? Oh man, she doesn't even have enough to buy anything.
Yeah, she is 2,500 gold behind her lane opponent at the moment in Annie. She's gonna need some catching. She's gonna need some extra farm to be able to catch up with this. Nocturne is going on to Nasus under the tier 2 tower. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out, but Nocturne backs off and will live. Senna is now harassing the tanky Leona. Can't really do much, but the Tibbers comes out and obliterates the Nasus. What is going on?
Oh no, friends.
I would love to see the team chat right now.
I'm gonna pull my hair out.
What is going on here?
Nocturne again in the face of the enemy, pops Paranoia just to try and run away. Steric gets popped, but he's going to end up walking away. Gray's ult to try and finish him off, but he was nowhere within kill range.
Elder's up. They're pinging for Elder.
Yep. And you know, I don't hate that Nocturne ult. One of the things that I think Nocturne players don't do as much as they should is actually ult for information. Because there's so much information that can be gathered and denied, more importantly, from using Nocturne Ultimate during critical times.
Very true. Unfortunately, now red team is going to have to deal with an Elder buffed blue team.
Yeah, so I already think the red team is too far out.
And he just walks into 4 people on the enemy team and explodes the Leona. Ignites onto the Nasus. Is he going to burn down? He is to the Elder. Stranglethorns will end up finishing off the Annie, but a 2-for-1 in favor of the blue team.
And they've got to just wave clear and defend the base so they cannot fight during this Elder Dragon, or it will end up costing them the game.
This is a very rough situation for the Iceberg boys. Inhibitor is just going to be a byproduct of their march down mid.
Oh!
Ashe takes half health with 1 Q with 1 auto attack from Draven. Got to be very careful of that. While Nocturne is pushing in the bot lane, gets chased off by Graves, but his Baron push is not quite over yet. The Elder push is not over yet.
Death Cap came through for Annie. No wonder.
Oof. Draven and Senna are just sitting around in the base. They do seem separated. If red team can find a pick, might be able to find a way, but fighting in the bot lane, Fear comes out onto the Graves. Enchanted Crystal Arrow will go wide. And oh no, Nasus has found the Darius. Here we go. Passive stacked onto the Nasus. He's gonna try and wither him, run away, gets the Noxian Guillotine and finds the kill. Zyra just caught out in transition.
I believe that's all she wrote, folks.
Nocturne ults onto the Ashe and Senna with the Dawning Shadow to finish off the Ashe.
Yeah, and bearing a miracle, I think this is where we see the Nexus fall.
Yeah, this is just tragic. This is the worst timeline.
All that's left in their way are 2 Nexus towers for blue team. 5 versus 2. Graves and Leona against the world. See what they can do to make this last a little bit longer.
Elder's gone though, right?
This is, yes. Trying to push in bot lane to get triple inhib, but looks like they're going to be able to get it as there's still respawn timers happening. So triple inhib for the blue team now at the end, towards the end of this game.
Do you just pull off and go Baron here if you're blue team just to not make sure you don't throw, or do you just see what happens?
It's possible.
If you're smart, you would, but it looks like they're gonna overstay.
4v5 fight. Solar Flare found onto the Draven. The Draven
Here's the
goes down.
best chance.
Annie one-shots the Ashe, unfortunately, though. Goes in, Nocturne ults in and goes into stasis. Graves finds the Annie, and they will find the Nocturne as well. There is an opening now for red team if they are able to get over Baron stack.
Yeah, this has to be a Baron call for red. It's got to be a Hail Mary.
Yeah, I think this is their shot back in, and I would like to say, I believe.
It looks like the blue team is starting it for them. This could be a thank you for leash for the red team if they stick around. It looks like it's not going to happen yet. Graves walks straight into the face of a Darius, does get the apprehend. Now Darius smacking a passive, gets the Noxian Guillotine, gets rid of the Immortal Shield Bow, but I do not think Graves is dead. Very
walking
interesting
melee
plays.
range into a Darius, that's interesting. What I was going to say is I would like to call out and say that I believe Cordell made a very good play there. As soon as he saw Darius back in base right there, he went all in and pretty much saved the game so far.
Yep.
I would like to point that out. That was a very good play.
Picked a good time to pick to get an uneven fight in favor of red team.
Now, not to say it's a good position to be in, but currently extra gold and XP are pouring into the red base. So if they are able to defend, they will quickly receive gold and XP to possibly
they will
come
be
back.
receiving a lot.
While this is true, this is now going to be that much harder of a task with that Baron coming in. Double super minion buffed up with Baron is going to be very hard to defend.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. They pretty much just need to walk these minions in and watch them do their work.
Yeah. Annie coming in on the rear, 4-stack of blue team marching into the base.
It's got to be decisive. Red team has to go. Decisive on the Draven.
Onto the Draven, Enchanted Crystero, and Solar Flare, but there is not much follow-up after the fact, and Draven lives, and Leona will go down for her troubles. Nasus is tanking it up in the front line, but he will not be alive for much longer. Goes down to the Nocturne. Draven, unfortunately, walks into tower and takes the tower shot and gives Zyra a kill. Health bars are blinking on the side of blue team. Stranglethorns goes down, and they will pick up the Darius. Graves then auto-attacks the Annie and will kill her off. It is now 2v3 in favor of red team. They still have Baron buff, though. They could act as a third man. Graves eased forward onto Senna. Chasing after kills. In the meantime, his Nexus turrets are falling. This could be trouble. He's in, gets the Nocturne. Senna is trying to flash away. And it looks like for now, red team is still alive.
Wow. I have no idea how they stabilized that.
Wow, this is quite the fiesta.
Second Elder coming up.
Would seem that blue team stepped too close to the Nexus towers at first, and they're going to have a chance to
Second
clear
Elder's
and
up.
They're be there for the Elder.
Red team was pinging on the way to Elder. Now blue, yep, see? Oh, this could be the fight. This could flip the game on its head if red team wins this fight.
Nocturne is enemy jungle is still dead for 20 seconds. Red team has an opportunity to take down this dragon.
Ooh.
Senna and Draven are waiting in shadow. Draven
blue
starts
team
to run
sees
in
this.
at the graves. He starts autoing.
Enchanted Crystero
onto the Senna. TP
teleport from
Nasus.
Colton,
and they kill the Draven as well. Darius is here. He could try and blast corner of the wall. He flashes in after it. And he will just die for his troubles as Elder Drake goes over to red team. Folks, this game is not over yet.
Colton, the hero of the day.
Wow.
Can they make the series 2-for-1 positive on the day, or will they fall to 1 and 2?
Their base is still in shambles.
Is kind of fed, right? She's 9-4 right now.
Yeah.
She's on 4 items, and she just bought a stopwatch. So next time that Nocturne ults in on her, she's gonna be able to stopwatch that, and the team should, if the team is competent, rally around her and kill the Nocturne.
I'm very glad Colton switched from that chain vest to the stopwatch for the first item of that GA he's building.
Yeah, that was
no,
no.
The ash found.
Do we
it's
know
ignited.
Question observers, do we know if he saw her in there when he hawkshotted?
There had to have been a split second where he knew. Getting bursted now by the Annie. Annie flashes away from the Stranglethorns, gets ignited by the Graves. Solar Flare onto the Annie will off. Meanwhile, Nocturne on the bottom tower is going, on the bottom inhibit is going to finish that off.
Yeah,
we got word that she was seen.
Oh,
and
that is
still
tragic.
Walked up that close.
That is tragic.
That's questionable. Oh, Cordell on a flank here.
Well, blue team in a 3v3 situation, Zenith Blade just barely misses onto the Draven.
They need to play this slowly. They need to play it smart.
Paranoia being procced by the Nocturne. Is he going to go in on anybody? He doesn't end up pulling the trigger. Very surprising for this Nocturne that has been insanely aggressive this game.
Yeah, he pretty much just wasted that ult there. Now, they do have Cloud Soul, so it'll be up very soon. But I'm really surprised he didn't just run it down right there, because he's been doing it all game. Nocturne's GA is up, by the way. So.
Yeah, it's still... Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits the Darius. Don't know if this is going to be a fight. The red team is slowly walking into range. Leona going very low. Whirling Death will finish. But the Strangle Thorns plus the Graves ultimate combo finishes both members of Red Team off. Darius and Senna die.
My.
Nasus is chasing after Raven and
Diving.
will get him away.
I was about to say well played, but I don't know what just happened.
That was a combination of multiple AoE ultimates going off on Darius and Senna at the same time, just bursting him down.
Yeah, and if I could take a second, as long as I don't understand these items incorrectly, why do we have two very large, very beefy magic resist items coming out on Nasus, just for Annie, when it seems it seems like every other enemy champion is attack damage oriented.
Oh, you're right. Paranoia comes in onto the Ashe. Got caught out backing on a ward. That is unfortunate, and the Nocturne will find a pick on the enemy.
Minute-long death timer.
Oh, that is tragic. Blue team could look to just walk it down mid lane right now. Darius and Senna are still in base, so right now it is a 4v3 for red team. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
every 8 seconds.
Every death does spell disaster at this point in a game.
Blue team is going to end up backing off for now.
Red team's still playing aggro.
Leona goes in onto a Banshee's Annie and just gets taken out. Stranglethorns and
no.
Paranoia going down at the same time. But Senna and Annie are just free hitting in onto the Nasus. The Nocturne does go down to the Zyra. And Nasus is running for his life from the Annie and the Senna. Will they be able to catch up to him? I think they will with the Dark Passage from Senna. She gets the W onto Nasus and he will go down. Folks, this looks like it's game for blue team. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes onto the Darius, but she's walking into the face of an Annie. Nearly gets one shot, has to flash away. And Annie and Darius look like
Zyro, why are you autoing Tibbers?
For the next, and unfortunately another L comes for the Iceberg boys in game 3.
Dropping to 1 and 2 on the day. You hate to see it, but let's see if we can even up the score.
So many scrappy back and forths. Blue team threw very hard in the game after a Baron play. It looked like red team had a chance to come back for a little bit, but backing on a ward from Ashe was so unfortunate that Nocturne just found her and assassinated her.
Yeah, boys, the way today is gone, I feel like if you just have a teammate who's a Nasus, you just ban it away or dodge.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that same way that 3 and 6. No. You know what the sad part about this is? That a 3 and 16 Nasus in a team fight, it felt like he had to be there because he was actually doing something. And that's the sad part about it, is like towards the end of that game, he was doing something, even though he was 3 and 16.
Yeah, he tried his best. It's just wasn't good enough this game.
Yeah, he tried spam pinging a lot, but I don't know how much more that would have helped.